of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll.
Alderman Tobin.
Here.
Alderman Jean-Francois.
Here.
Alderman Johnson.
Here.
Alderwoman Ray.
Here.
Alderman Kleiner.
Here.
Alderman Green.
Here.
Alderman Witt.
Here.
Alderman Massey.
Here.
President Rodriguez.
Here.
Quorum is present.
Approval of minutes.
September 16, 2025, please.
I have a motion by Mr. Massey. Do I have a second by Alderman Ray? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Correspondence.
We have one letter this evening. Dear members of the City Council, we respectfully request that the City of Middletown Common Council approve a zoning change from OR2 to UR3 for our property located at 137 Linden Avenue, Middletown, New York. This project will preserve the property, benefit the community, and address current zoning restrictions in a manner consistent with the board standards for granting variances. The redesign of the conversion will preserve the historical facade and conditions of existing historic building while modernizing the interior to provide much-needed housing of the community. It will also preserve a historic structure, maintain the aesthetic and culture value of the neighborhood. The proposed zoning change aligns with the city's goals of promoting economic development, increasing housing availability, and enhancing community services such as creating parks with walking trails and picnic areas. The property's location at 137 Linden Avenue can not only increase the housing capacity, but also provide off-street parking, which will improve the convenience and safety for park visitors. I believe this change will benefit the neighborhoods and support the overall growth and development of the city of Middletown. Additionally, I am committed to working with the city to ensure the project complies with all applicable regulations and enhances the surrounding area. I kindly request that the City Council review the proposal and schedule a public hearing to discuss the zoning change. I am happy to provide additional information, including a detailed site plan, environmental impact assessments, and other documentation as required. Please feel free to contact me at this number to discuss this matter further. Thank you for your time and consideration. I look forward to the opportunity to collaborate with the city to ensure this project serves the best interests of our community. Sincerely, Charlie Jang.
All right, received and forward to committee. And for the good of the city, we have a special recognition tonight.
Good evening. We began recognizing and honoring some of our long-term businesses, our long-time businesses in the city, because what we started finding ourselves doing was a lot of ribbon cuttings for new businesses. And then we said, well, what about the people that have been here for a long time? So we started with a few here and there, 20 years, I think 30 years. We talked to the Baffa family. We had others in that went some time. But when we get to the center of the city, there's nobody that's been more of a Middletown legend, as many in his atmosphere call him, and that's Stephen Keeler, the owner and founder of Rock Fantasy. Rock Fantasy is celebrating 40 years in downtown Middletown. They opened on November 5th, 1985 at 79 West Main Street, right behind City Hall here. They were inspired by selling concert T-shirts at fairs and flea markets. Stephen started with $2,000 and the support of his parents. He grew quickly to selling LPs, shirts, pins, posters, patches, expanding his business. He hosted autograph signings with bands. The store became a local music hub. He hosted many famous bands, such as Alice in Chains, Skid Row, Overkill, and more. He then continued to expand his outreach into the community by hosting pro wrestlers for meet and greets. Jake the Snake Roberts. I'd like to see him take on Massey in a little. The Iron Sheik, Tommy Dreamer, and many others. And he became a destination for both music and wrestling fans. Stephen was ahead of his time because we're trying to get younger downtown, and we're also trying to reach different groups and different types of arts. And Stephen was doing it going all the way back to 1985. He expanded into additional new scenes. He had started the punk section, and it thrived. He supported local bands, sold demos, and employed many musicians. He brought back pinball and vinyl. He added a pinball room and founded the Orange County Pinball Club, which meets every Thursday at his place. He hosted nationally ranked pinball tournaments, became a showroom for the latest pinball machines. So in the new era of this club, or this organization, Rock Fantasy, he moved to 12 East Main Street. It included a larger storefront, expanded the record department, a bigger smoke shop, a major pinball display area. Still Middletown's hub for music, pinball, and rock culture. So after nearly 40 years of serving generations of music fans, a living part of the Hudson Valley's rock history, Rock Fantasy, more than a store, it's a lifestyle. And when Stephen gets up here, he's going to tell you all about it. And so we wanted to at least recognize Stephen, present him with this plaque from the city of Middletown, from myself and the council president and the members of the board. If he'd come up, we can present it to you. And thank you. Let's go picture this out.
Becky.
Our Vicky has.
Yeah, she's great.
Hello.
You're the star, brother, you're the star.
Closer?
No, you guys are good. Smile. One more, smile.
Come on up and say some words, Stephen.
Good call last minute. I was like, what's he?
Well, it's definitely been a long journey. I don't know where the time went, and 40 years, and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. So we just signed another lease for another 5 years, and I love what I do, and I'm blessed to be able to do what I do. I love going to work every day, and pinball, like you were talking, pinball's become a big part. It's weird because years ago, we got rid of the records. Nobody was going to buy a record again. It was like 8 tracks, right? So we got rid of the record bins, and we made the pinball bigger. And then at one time, we got rid of most of the pinballs and made the smoke shop bigger. Now, in the last couple of years, we've made the smoke shop smaller and made the pinball bigger. So we've been moving with the times, but and we're having a celebration in town, a 40th anniversary. We're going to have a concert over at the Zone at Clemson on November 1st. We got a bunch of bands, including a Black Sabbath tribute with Ozzy we lost this year. So we're looking forward to celebrating, and it's an honor to have this plaque from you guys, and hope to keep going and bringing more people to downtown Middletown.
Congratulations.
Cool. Great, yeah, Allison. People still talk about when Alice in Chains were there. We didn't know who they were when the record company called up because it was a brand new band. Well, Alice in Chains, that's a weird name for a band, and they said, well, you want to do it? And now I've got 20-year-old kids coming in to buy Alice in Chains records. We got a plaque up on the wall with all the photos from that day. And I think there's a picture of the line of kids. And it was funny because when Equilibrium opened, people thought I had bands doing in-stores. I said, no, they're lined up for beer. Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, for the good of the city.
We have one speaker this evening, Orange County Legislator Janet Sutherland.
Okay, good evening. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak with you this evening. So many years ago, Orange County and the city of Middletown began a project for a transportation hub here in the city, over by the bus garage. The bus terminal, excuse me. And that was many moons ago, and then COVID happened, and things kind of got in the way. However, I'm very pleased to be able to say that Mayor DeStefano and I, and along with the county executive, have had several meetings to try to get this project up and moving again. Many years ago, the county was able to secure almost $7.5 million in grant money to make this project happen. I believe that a very positive meeting happened today with several people to get this project off the ground again and moving in the right direction. So I'm very excited to be able to share that. I appreciate the mayor. I, of course, appreciate the work that Alan Sorensen did in the county and working alongside the county executive to kind of make sure that this takes off and we can get it up and running again. So thank you.
Thank you. All right. Remarks of the mayor.
Yes, I'll pick up where Janet left off. She has been very instrumental in reviving this project. Jacob and I have, we were on a conference call today with, not what do you call it, a Zoom? Virtual meeting, that's what you call it, with Coach USA, Alan Sorensen, and representatives of the county. Whatever you did, Janet, you really made a difference because everybody was on the call today, including the county attorneys. And we're hoping to have a significant announcement in a very short period of time on the project once again moving forward. It's complicated. It's $7.5 million. It involves the city injecting property. It involves Coach injecting property that they paid $220,000 for many, many years ago. But it will be a new terminal. It'll be a off-street bus pull-in. It'll be safe parking, connectivity with the Heritage Trail. So a whole bunch of positive things. And it, because of COVID and the hold-on money, it did not seem like it was moving as quickly or wasn't moving at all. So Legislator Sutherland did approach me about it and said, hey, I think I can be helpful. I said, whatever you can do. And you did it. So I appreciate it and appreciate your efforts on behalf of the city. So moving on, we have today an Eagle Scout named Joseph Galdamez, whose dad happens to be a Middletown fireman, and who is working on a project called the Civil War Restoration at Hillside. As part of his Eagle project, I met with the young man a few weeks ago, and he described the project. He submitted to me a several-page proposal that includes describing his project, how it will be helpful to the community, along with many other, how many volunteers it'll take, what is the ask of others in the community. One of the asks from us is some of the old sidewalks, the flagstone sidewalks. So he needs about 30 feet of that, and possibly moving some boulders, moving some stone, and transporting it. So in order for us to do that, you, the common council, would have to vote on that. So I told Joseph that he had to come here and make his presentation, and I didn't have to ask him. He was very willing to come here and do that. So at this point, what I'd like to do is bring Joseph up and let him make his presentation on his project. So Joseph, come on up.
Hello, my name is Joseph Galdamez, and I'm a 10th grader in Middletown High School. I'm currently working on my Eagle project, and the plan is just to move the graves from Hillside, which are dumped in a pond and kind of disregarded for, and make them more open, and so the community could learn more about it. The graves were retrieved and just laid down on the floor, and looked like a walkway, and I wanted to make more respect for them so they could be shown more to the public. I'm going to be asking for 30 feet of flagstone because the town recently constructed new stones, and they have all the stones in their inventory. So the flagstone would be really helpful for my project, so I could connect my project to the main road of the cemetery, so you could easily walk over to it. Thank you.
All right, good job.
So after this evening and this evening's vote, Jacob will be authorized to cooperate with them. I know Andy Mills is here from Hillside and mentioned that there's possibility that some other stones may be needed to be moved in addition to, but he's going to discuss that with Joseph and the project. We all look forward to cutting the ribbon on the project, I guess, will be the best thing we can say. But it is a Civil War restoration project, and we're very thankful for his efforts. Next would be the Department of State and the community campus. At the last meeting, we had the Brownfield Opportunity Area Plan. Kate Stryker was here, and she did make a presentation to the city and to the council. They also attended the Hispanic Heritage Festival on Sunday. They're doing a lot of their outreach on this project. And as you know, that we're trying to develop a community-led vision for the area and for the neighborhood, for the former psychiatric center, now called the community campus. They're creating development concepts for strategic, vacant, and underutilized sites on the campus. They identified site development opportunities and enhancements consistent with a community vision. And that's the key, is community vision. That we have been doing a lot of outreach into the community, and I think the most consistent feedback that myself, and I'm sure the Alderman Johnson and Alderwoman Kate will attest to, is that they like the development that's been happening on the campus. They're attracted to the restoration of the buildings, the open space. There is no interest in, or very limited interest, I could say, through the community outreach into high-density housing at the campus. But we're also continuing to do that outreach. So whatever feedback the public may have, please continue to do so through your alderman, through myself, or directly through Maria Bruni's office, or through the directly with Pattern for Progress, who is managing the grant. This study is being handled by the Pattern for Progress. It's a $250,000 grant, and you can see some of the community input that we've been going through. We've had public meetings, focus meetings, survey, table events, and this is where the community input is coming from. So we're excited about the potential at the campus. As you know, we just received the $10 million grant, or $6.6 million grant for the Kleiner facility. We're hoping for another 3.3 to come in. It's a much larger project than that, so we're putting that together. This is separate from that grant, but we want to make sure that the campus, once again, becomes a vibrant and inclusive space that serves as a central hub for education, innovation, culture, the arts, commerce, and outdoor recreation. And if you look at the campus in its current state, it's all of those things now, but it can be much, much more than it is now. So I want to thank Pattern for Progress for doing all that good work. Next is the status of the parking garage. We have two projects on South Street. One is the parking garage, the other is the court. I checked with Jacob today, he gave me an update on the court. We're still targeted for the December finishing up with the court facility. As you know, it's a $6 million project, $3 million funded through Senator Skoufis, $3 million funded through city taxpayers, as the city is responsible for providing facility, and the court has expanded to 2 courts based on going to regionalization. But phase 1 on the left of the screen is underway. The parking area, as you can see, the lower parking area has been dug out. The bank has been removed. You can see equipment. This is back in August of this year when the equipment started being moved in. Orange and Rockland is moving the utility line. There's a lot that has to be done with the EV chargers and the movement of those lines and the underground lines that have to be go forward with that. And if you remember that this project is being designed and constructed phase 1 so that we can go up to a phase 2. Phase 2 would include much more parking than the current project will offer. It has about this I think is a net plus 80 in that area, parking spots for downtown, which will be very helpful for Paramount events. But overall, the project has been moving at a steady pace after much delay from Orange and Rockland, but the heavy equipment is there. You see them digging, you see them moving earth, and I know the Malum Construction is the company that's doing the work, and so it's a slight inconvenience for the businesses over there, but they do see the benefits in the long run. So that's your update on the court and the South Street parking garage. Here we had a call from Senator Skoufis, who wanted to do some outreach on the North Street corridor with some of the Latino businesses. So we visited many of the businesses, 4 or 5 at least, and had conversations. And the common denominator with many of the businesses was most of their businesses are suffering in a sense of sales because of ICE. And this is not, and it's not just undocumented people they're talking about. We're talking about families who are staying home because they have a family member who may be undocumented they don't want to bring attention to. So the community is hurting in that area, and the businesses are hurting. But the senator was there to show his support, also hear from them on different ideas, opened his office up for offering to meet with more business leaders in his office here in Middletown to see if there's any way the state government can help or the city government can do more. So I want to thank Senator Skoufis. I want to thank the business leaders for opening their doors and sharing, very candidly their experience with what's going on in downtown. The general, the lowest one who said the loss of business resulting from ICE was about 15%, and that number went up to some businesses all the way to 60 to 70%. So it's devastating to some of the businesses. They're surviving, they're hanging in there, but so if you have an opportunity to stop in one of the stores and spend a couple of bucks, please do so. We had another ribbon cutting, which I commented on before. We're doing a lot of welcoming to new businesses downtown, and that's why we're here honoring Stephen tonight. But this was Alondra's Pizzeria. It's on 202 North Street. We had a great ribbon cutting there. The Alondra and his family, this is their 3rd restaurant in the city of Middletown. They have Alondra's at 14, or I think it's 14 North Street, 14 North. They have the 52 Cottage. His brother has that operation, the old Diana's, and this is the 3rd. So Alondra and his family, they're making a huge investment into our community, and we were happy to be there. The pizza was fantastic. We had a little meeting last night. We had about 6 pies delivered. They were hot, they were good, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Over the weekend, we also had the opportunity to visit Aloy. I referenced COVID before. Aloy, which is located at 42 North Street, she opened in March of 2020. So she had her lease signed in March of 2020. And you know what happened in March of 2020, right after was COVID. So since she never had her ribbon cutting, she called and said, hey, I'm going to throw a 5-year party, and I'd like to invite you all to come and cut the ribbon. So myself, Maria, Alderman Johnson, as you can see in the picture, we all attended. It was a great night, and I want to congratulate Alloy for their commitment to downtown. Stephen mentioned he just signed a new 5-year lease. She also mentioned she's looking for a lease extension. So not only are businesses coming, we know some will fail, of course, like anywhere, but it's good to see people signing lease extensions. And then we went over to East Main Street yesterday at the last minute. So not all of you got invited, but because we had a little communication issue, but we were able to make it to the restaurant at 14 East Main Street. It's Viva Mexican Grocery and Deli. Again, great food, great people, making a big commitment into the city, and we had a nice lunch in there also. So, and then to round up the weekend, we had 2 events on Sunday. The first one was at the Masonic Lodge, where we were invited, or I was invited, to come together with a group for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. As the speakers noted, it's not an easy subject to talk about, but it's one that people do have to talk about. The Middletown Police Department was represented by 2 officers, Sergeant Gallagher, and I'm not sure, I don't recall the other officer, but also Fearless was there, and a good turnout from the Masonic Lodge folks and others. So we have a local author I only know her by Suzetta Brown. But I know her by Suzetta Brown because she grew up on Prince Street, and very difficult to talk about what she has gone through in her life. But not only is she talking about it, she has written 2 books about it. So Suzetta had her 2nd book signing there on Sunday, and I just want to say thank you to Suzetta, her husband Derek, for putting on this event. It's the 2nd one, a 2nd annual. Hopefully next year it'll be more well attended, but she does talk about the pain and struggle, and she chose to turn that experience into purpose, and she shared her journey, and she's helping others find their voice, and that's part of her mission in life now. So congratulations to Suzetta, and good luck with your newest book that you have out. And then we headed over to the Discover America in Middletown, New York festivities at Erie Way Park. I don't think we could have asked for better weather. I think most of you had showed up at one point during the day. This was put together in 3 or 4 weeks by the merchants. They approached the city and said, listen, we think we would like to do something to support Hispanic Heritage Month. So we told them, we'll put together a plan. So they started meeting themselves, put together a little bit of plan. Then they started meeting with Maria and her staff, and then we included others in. And so I wanted to thank the Alondras Cuisine, Estelitas Mexican Kitchen, La Amistad, La Esquina, Nana's Colombian Bakery, Olivia's Empanadas, and the Taco Factory. Those were the businesses that were there. But also the Recreation Department was there with pumpkin giveaways by the Middletown YMCA with face painting. The soccer club was scheduled to be there, but were unable to make it because of a last-minute death in the family. There was so much music and dancing for 5 consecutive hours, and it was an opportunity to share in the traditions and culture of the Hispanic community. So they are very thankful. I know Maria had a follow-up meeting this morning, and there's already talk of not only doing it again next year, but expanding it expanding the footprint and inviting more local businesses in. So you can see the crowds were nice. At one point, the crowds were very heavy. I saw Miguel with his Giants pull over. He was very happy at one point because the Giants were up 19-0, and Green Bay was losing at that point, and he made some sarcastic comments, and then it ended up Green Bay won, and the Giants lost, but I don't want to point that out. But as you can see, the colorful, the people were fantastic, and when I had the opportunity to speak, I thank them for coming, because I know it's a lot, as I said, with the stores being hurt, it was a lot for people to come out and meet in a large group such as this. So they all did a great job, and they were very proud of their heritage and their traditions. So that's my presentation. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to address them.
Alderman Massey? Please bear with me. I'm a little confused. I know you just gave a great presentation. Some of it was concerning the downtown parking. I walked by the site and I see progress, and yet your little opponent on Saturday wrote, and in my opinion disparages not only you but our common council. He wrote, and I quote, "I've heard your comments loud and clear. Parking in downtown Middletown has become a real problem. Every day, residents and visitors circle the blocks, park far away from their destinations, or risk tickets due to unclear regulations. We've all heard promises about parking garages during election season, but talk stops once votes are counted. It's time for real action." That's the end of the quote. Of course, we must recognize that this came from someone who represents much of the city of Middletown as our county legislator, who missed almost 3 years of meetings, stating, "I don't have to attend meetings." Talk about no action. My question, are there some issues with this project that I am not aware of? Is the project not moving forward? Would you please clarify that?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Maria, can you go back to the videos, or? I think the pictures speak for themselves. I mean, in regards to the parking garage is moving forward. It's under construction. You see the heavy equipment, you see the whole row of parking has been removed up on top. The lower mountain has been removed. The Orange and Rockland has been on the scene working. The picture speaks for itself. In regard to the parking, it's nonsense. Listen, it's silly season nonsense, and we understand the silly season nonsense. But more importantly, when someone says there's too many people downtown in regards to parking, it goes back to what we were just addressing before, is having a parking issue in downtown, if you were doing nothing about it, would be a concern. But we have done a lot about it. All these lots have been reconstructed. The DRI money, James Street lot back here, Orchard Street lot, Canal Street, all these lots have been reconstructed. South Street, you have the 2 lots. So the parking is there. Our report, if he had read it, in 2017, the strategic plan identifies over 1,200 parking spots alone within the center core of downtown. But when you have ribbon cutting after ribbon cutting in businesses such as Stephen Keeler, bringing in people, bringing in book signings or record signings or pinball tournaments on a weekly basis, that's people. When you have Equilibrium Brewery, people lined up to buy a case of beer for hours, those are good problems to have. When you see, it's like if the baseball analogy, too much pitching. You can't have too much pitching. Well, you can't. Who's going to complain that there's a lot of people downtown? You got to be an idiot if you're complaining that too many people are downtown for what's here. So we have the parking, we have the businesses. Businesses are viable. The restaurants are doing beautifully downtown. We're seeing other types of businesses coming into our downtown. We have recently met with a medical wig company. They're opening at 27 West Main Street. You got Tracy at the Antiques on West Main Street. Everyone's doing well. There is some fallback on some of the Latino-owned businesses, as I mentioned, but for the most part, people are doing well. They have access to parking, and they know that based on our bid district meetings, based on our communication to them, that we are addressing additional parking. And the additional parking is for the growth, because we have 34 units plus retail proposed on Union Street. We have a hotel project proposed on Canal Street. We have just sold 12 King Street for $500,000. It's going to have 15 apartments and first floor commercial. We're selling 7 King Street, $100,000, a dilapidated building that will be renovated with 2 apartments and commercial space on front. 46 North Street, the old Montgomery Ward building, several millions of dollars into a historic renovation with, I believe it's 24 apartments upstairs and commercial on the first floor. If there was a problem, as you described from the writer, people would not be investing millions of dollars in downtown Middletown. And if you note in our audit, the audit referenced that we as a city have probably the largest bulk of capital projects in Orange County. I think the number was 52 million, with an overwhelming majority of them funded by grant funding. So I think we're doing the right thing. We'll stay on the right track, and I don't listen to the silly season type of talk. Thank you. Hope that addressed your question.
Alderman Kleiner?
Thank you, Mayor. I think maybe this is more of a question for Joseph or for Andy Mills, but I'm wondering if the graves they're talking about are the ones that are in the back of the cemetery along on the other side of the pond.
I'd have to bring them up, for one of them. Joseph? can you-
Okay.
Andy, you want to come up?
Hey.
All right.
Yeah, the graves are the ones in the back. They're the African American ones just lying on the ground that look like a walkway.
Right.
Like the one up the hill too, right? They're on the hill?
No, these are along the back, but I wanted to make sure that that's what you were talking about and make the point that, as they say on the gravestones, these were some of the colored troops. That's what they call them. But these are African-American Civil War veterans. And there's a book on Hillside Cemetery. It's got beautiful pictures and does a wonderful job, but it really refers to that almost as a walking path. And it's not. So anything you can do to help preserve those and make them more visible would be greatly appreciated, just so people understand that's what it is. Okay, thank you.
All right, any more questions for the mayor? Alderman Johnson.
Mayor, with respect to the Transportation Center, and I second the gratitude for Legislator Sutherland, the original renderings, are we still working off that, or does it have to be started over?
Not started over, but be built on. The county will hire an engineer. I don't know which one. It might be the same one who prepared that. We're not involved in the design. That is done between Coach and the county. Of course, we have input. The trail location is going to be important. The location of, they're going to have bike sharing. They're planning on having that. EV stations. So we'll be involved in all that. But more or less, the goal is to make that area much more attractive for commuters. As you know, part of it's not lit. There's a lot of potholes on some of the private property. Bring it together, make it more accessible, usable, and hopefully increase ridership for Coach.
Thank you very much.
All right, anyone else? All right, reports of department heads, economic development.
Good evening. Besides all the great economic development stuff that's happening out there, this was an exciting weekend on Sunday. The mayor touched upon everything that went on. I have some special thanks because the business community downtown really took strong hold of this. They wanted to show their support, their strength. That they are facing challenges, as the mayor mentioned, but they wanted to show their strength, and they wanted to give back to the city however they could, and this event was just spectacular. We had Run for Downtown, who contributed funds to buy all the pumpkins. The YMCA was down here. We had Huerta Farms and F&G Family Farm. They're farmers that are at our farmers market every week. They came down. And also we had Gente Nueve, a truck and car club. They were there giving out Halloween candy. They helped us clean up. It was just amazing. And we also had the Future Business Leaders of America Club from Northern Academy. So you can see how this is going to have some legs, because what they kept stressing to me is the unity. They want to bring more on board. They want to do more and show unity, how unified Middletown is, how strong Middletown is, the diversity. So looking forward to working with them for next year. Like the mayor mentioned, we did meet this morning. We had a bid meeting, and they're ready to go. Special thanks again, Juan Alvalos from Taco Factory, Alvaro Garcia, Garcia's Market, Jose Linavas from Alondro's, and Noemi from Noemi Sid from Noemi's Hair Salon on North Street, and all the businesses that came down. It was just a great event, and I want to thank them for making it a huge success. And I shout out to my staff too, the team, Stefania, Joseph, Eileen helping with social media. We had translations done. Rick, thank you. Your department helped out. And it was just, again, awesome weekend. More to come this weekend at the Paramount. We have the 2025 Horathon weekend. So all the classic movies starting Friday. Frankenstein, the 1931 version. Gremlins, the 1984 version. Saturday, we have The Thing, 1982. Psycho, 1960. Creature from the Black Lagoon, the 1954 movie. Pet Cemetery from 1989. And then Sunday, we're excited about this. Phantom of the Opera, the 1925 50th anniversary. We have the live organ accompanist there. And the special guest, Haunted Barn, will be there with amazing displays in the lobby. And so Halloween is here, and we're ready to celebrate. And then just more events coming at the Paramount as well. And that's all I have, unless you guys have any questions for me.
Any question for Maria? Great job, Maria.
Thank you.
All right, DPW Commissioner.
Good evening, all. I'm going to be very brief tonight because the mayor did report on the capital projects that are going on around us in here. The reservoir level, Alderman Massey, 76%. We're very concerned. It's been very dry. All the rain they talk about and the flooding, it keeps missing us, so we're at deficit. Usually we have last month and this month over 5 inches. We only got just over 2 inches last month. This month is almost over and we only got a couple of inches. So we're getting ready to start skimming operation. Hopefully in November we will start if it continues to be this dry. Just to be on the safe side, not like we're running out of water or anything like that. We would like to plan ahead so that we'll be prepared. If a drought is to take hold in our area, then we will be ready for it as much as we can. There was a big project taking place with the grant from the state, about over $100,000 for digitizing our underground utilities, storm sewer, sanitary sewer, and water lines. And we've been working with CDM Smith on this project for a couple of years now. We are at a point right now we're going to start deploying that digitized utility system so that our guys will be running around with iPads and so on and so forth in the field, taking pictures, pinning down location of plugged sewer or water main break, exact location, and pictures, and will be uploaded into the cloud and into our system and will be forever kept for us to troubleshoot which water main will have to be replaced, which sewer line will have to address more closely, and so on and so forth. That's a great project. We're looking forward to its deployment. And CDM, they purchased the equipment for us, and we'll start using it very soon, and we'll keep you posted. Do you have any questions for me?
Any question for Jacob? Alderman Kleiner?
Yes, I know leaf pickup starts, I think, November 3rd. Excuse me. The question is, well, there are a lot of houses that have leaves out in the street already, so bypass that. But yard waste pickup. Does yard waste pickup stop for the winter months, or does it stop during leaf pickup? Or can people still put out cans full of yard waste?
No, they can still put out the cans. They can. They can put up the yard waste in a can as well.
Okay.
So if you have branches or anything like that, that's your question. You can put them in the cans.
Yeah, that'll...
And we will pick them up, or you can wrap them just per the code. You know, you can wrap them 30 inch long. You just wrap them in there and we can pick them up.
Okay.
Yeah, but we'll continue to pick up, yes.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. By the way, we did send code enforcement all over as much as we can to advise people to take the leaves back because they are dangerous, and people, they should comply with the rules and regulations. Do not put them on the street. Keep them in your front yard because they do represent danger to, the kids, to the public, to the line of sight for cars, and so on. Yeah. So thank you for bringing this up. Yeah. Yep.
Anyone else? Alderman Witt?
Yeah, just to finish up on that, just so people do understand, what are the rules that you want people to follow when this does start and people are putting out?
Yeah, basically we have the wards. We're going to be going ward by ward. So if you can hold off, and that is on our website, which ward goes first. if you can hold off the first couple of weeks until your ward, until we get closer to you, then that will make our life easier and our streets safer. So try to wait. Don't dump everything like November 3rd, you said, Alderman? Would it start somewhere around? Don't wait for that day and then the whole city. We cannot pick up the whole city in 1 day or 2 days or 1 week or 2 weeks. So wait, please just follow which ward goes first for pickup, and just follow that as much as you can, and we would appreciate your cooperation. You can leave it on your front yard. It doesn't have to be on the street, and then you can push it into the street when the time comes for your area to be picked up. Yeah.
Okay, anyone else? Thank you, Jacob.
Thank you.
Senior Department?
Julissa, I'm the director of the Senior Center. And I'm very proud to be the director of the Senior Center. We've come to a lot in this year, and as we're wrapping up, I want to thank Maria. She did a nice job on the Hispanic heritage, following in line with what we started with the Mulberry House Senior Center. And I just want to also just bring out that we not only do senior programming, we're very community-oriented. For years, we've been doing driver ed courses there every month. We also host the Middletown Art Group. We also host the Fire Police. I do a lot of their fundraising projects there at the Mulberry House Senior Center. We have a group of women. It's called God's Heart for Women. They just had Saturday a community dinner, which was very successful. So on top of all that, we also have the Orange County Archaeology Society that meets in our senior center. We have the Orange County Railroad Historical Society, which is very big for the Middletown. That's what we're known for, and they meet there. So Lions Club, Women's Veteran Group, I mean, we are not just 55 and above. We are a community site that I just wanted to recognize, because I know that I'm kind of a quiet person. I don't stand up here or post 20,000 pictures of everything that I do and my staff, but we are very active and we are very, very much part of the community. So talk about getting together and being unified. That includes the senior department as well. I just want to say tomorrow we have our fun thing. We have our Halloween party. And we also are looking forward to preparing for our international. We do an international Thanksgiving. Last year, we served over 150 people. And this year, I hope to serve as many, too. And that's my staff and I. We put together a Thanksgiving meal, and each person can bring a side dish of their country. And it's a beautiful event. So if any of you want to stop by, that's on November 20th. From 1 to 3, it's a day of the week, but if anybody's able to stop by, it's a very beautiful event. And I just don't want to minimize what we're all about. The senior department is very active, and we're very fortunate to have a senior department, and I'm very thankful to be the director of the senior department, so thank you.
Okay, any questions? All right, thank you. City Clerk.
Good evening. Just want to remind everybody that early voting will begin on October 25th at the Senior Center. The full schedule is available on the Orange County Board of Elections website, as well as the city website and through our social media pages. Election Day is Tuesday, November 4th. Polls are open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. All the poll sites in Middletown remain the same. If you have any questions, please feel free to call us here at the City Clerk's office, 845-346-4168, or reach out to the Board of Elections in Goshen. Thank you.
Any question for the City Clerk? Hearing none. Remarks of Alderman Tobin.
The mayor brought up I was approached by the Catskill Mountain Keepers about doing a week without driving. I tried a day, and made me feel really empathetic for people that don't have cars. I got a ride to work in the morning from a coworker and a ride back. But because if I tried to take a bus to the city, I'd to my job in Washingtonville, I'd take a coach bus to the city and then back to Washingtonville, which would be impractical. And then I figured I would go to the grocery store after work, but I would be able to get there, but I wouldn't be able to get back because it closes early. And then I'd have to walk 3/4 of a mile to get the bus, even though it drives by my house, and then to go 1.5 miles to ShopRite. So I only did it for a day, and it really made me feel for people that don't have access to cars. The Hispanic Heritage Festival was amazing. I drove by at 5:45. It was still, the people were dancing. It was filled, great food, so terrific event. And finally, I took part in the breast cancer walk in Monroe Woodbury at the Commons this weekend. I saw our Middle Youth cheerleaders there, Middletown Teachers Association, and a lot of other Middletown sports programs. So we were definitely well represented. Thank you.
Alderman John Francois.
Yes, good evening. I'd like to thank Maria Bruni and her staff for all you do. Bringing, this is what we mean when we say Middletown is moving forward. We're not leaving anyone behind. It's great to see you bringing all the business in town together for us all to move forward, not just one person, two. Everyone is involved, and we're all moving forward. Thank you, Maria, for what you do.
Alderman Johnson.
Thank you. So I'd like to address the pinball wizard. So thanks for bringing me back to a memory. It would be 1969, thank you. I would be in high school, thank you. And a good friend of mine bought 2 pinball machines and had them in his house. And we were so excited. It was unbelievable, like, we can play pinball in your basement? Come on down. So thanks for the memories. That's not my original slogan, somebody else said that. Silly season and Mr. Massey's remarks. It just appears that honesty and integrity are not part of the portfolio, and it's not going to change. So we need to kind of move on from that. The steering committee, having sat on it along with Ms. Ray and Mr. Kleiner, I just want to say Kate does a great job. The people who compose the committee, it's just an amazing group. Cornell Co-op, somebody from Albany, somebody from Honor, Mayor's Office, Private Citizen, Fei Tian, School Board, Jerry as the historian, as we call him. And we've really done great work, and I'm proud to be part of that. It was a little longer than I was planning on being on a committee, but I'm getting used to it. Alondra's Pizza, I agree, thumbs up. Hispanic Heritage, out of the park. Knocked it out of the park. There were many things that were good. What I really appreciated was the display of the international flags. It was kind of over on the side. I felt like I was at the UN. And as a reminder, when you say Hispanic or Latino, whatever word you want to use, that are many, many different cultures, many, many different people, many, many different countries. And it was just a great event. Thank you for that. Thanks.
Alderman Ray.
Good evening. Yeah, I love the word unity. I've said it 1,000 times, I'm sure, at this table in front of the city after some event or another, because Middletown somehow figures out how to set an example that I think our entire nation should take a moment and follow. Outside of our city, I think we're looking at probably the most divisive and, frankly, I think terrifying times for people who maybe don't look like me or other people on this board, but maybe like my kids. And I worry about them, and I worry about my kids I work with in the schools and their families, and to hear that they're not going out and enjoying their lives that they're entitled to, because they work here and they live here and they pay into taxes here and they contribute to our society, and they deserve to be able to go out and have dinner and not be afraid. And our kids should go to school and not be afraid about what happens when they get picked up. And that bothers me. And then I get to sit and I get the pleasure of living in this city with people from every walk of life, every background, and we never fail at taking care of each other. Never. And we know how to interact together and come together and be one people, because at the end of the day, here in Middletown, we're just middies. And that's it at the end of the day. And I think we should all, in this country, remember that we are all also Americans. And that includes every single person, everyone. And I want to thank you, young man, for what you're doing at Hillside. And you absolutely have our support. I think that's wonderful. And as rep for that ward, thank you. Thank you for what you do. And I think we need to highlight, this is our youth. This is us, Middletown. We're doing amazing things. And we should just keep up the good work. I don't see why we'd ever change a thing.
Alderman Kleiner.
Thank you. We'll have our constituents meeting. I will remind people at the next meeting, but that is, Second Ward meeting is November 10th, and I bring it up now because the mayor has kindly consented to be there for the beginning of the meeting. So if you have any questions for the mayor or about the Second Ward or about the city, please come for that. That's November 10th at 7 p.m. right here. A lot of people to thank. America in Middletown was just amazing, and to find out that was put together on such short notice. Legislator Sutherland and I were in the line for Olympias, empanadas. There was just so much there, and you know, it emphasizes community, and that's what Middletown's about. It's about this sense of community. So I thank everyone who showed up. I thank everyone who made it happen, and I'm looking forward to next year. I want to thank Parks and Rec. We had our Historical Society annual meeting at Davidge Park on October 11th, and everything was nice. I don't think it was a little cooler day, so even the Yellow Jackets boycotted, so that was good. I thank Julissa and her staff, because the senior center, it is more of a community center. And Mulberry House has been a tradition in Middletown for so long. But they do amazing things, and there is so much going on. You really have to look at the schedule to see. I thank the people who showed up for the No Kings rally, both in Goshen, but particularly in Middletown and outside of Middletown in the town of Walk Hill. It was an amazing turnout, and I know Donald Trump posted a video, a disgusting one, of him flying a bomber and, you know, pooping on the participants, and that's not what the First Amendment is about. And as Alderman Tobin said at the Goshen rally, you know, this going back to the Magna Carta 1,300 years ago, in 1215, they agreed that kings were not above the law. And, you know, now we have a Secretary of Homeland Security who thinks that habeas corpus is what gives them the right to deport people. It's just that kind of ignorance. People who are governing us are right now, they are not about governing. They are about abusing, they are about fear, and they are about self-aggrandizement. And this has been the biggest scam that we've ever seen. It is the most corrupt, and somebody whose hero is Al Capone because he could have his opponents killed. You know, you call them ICE, I call them the American Gestapo, because they are also above the law. I could go on with that. I want to congratulate also Rock Fantasy. They've been a big part of Middletown. I still have all my vinyl 45s and all my vinyl albums, so I will come talk to you sometime. And I think, you know, we have Halloween coming up. If you've never been on up Chappelle Parkway and seen Dave Waddell's house, what an amazing job he does decorating for Halloween. So it's worth a trip up there just to see it. And I understand why President Trump would pardon
Santos.
Yeah, Mr. Santos.
Pick one.
Because he pardons all the liars, and he pardons all the fraudsters, and he's It's just a part of who he is, and I don't know. So I've got a couple more months here. I'm going to keep speaking out because I think what goes on in Washington is a big part of what goes on in Middletown, and we have to keep being aware of it. So the only time Donald Trump testified under oath, he took the Fifth Amendment 440-plus times. The only question he answered was, "Is your name Donald J. Trump?" And he said yes. And after that, nothing. So, lying at your confirmation hearings has no consequences. And you see all the Trump appointees who've lied, including the Supreme Court, who've lied through their teeth
Big time.
at their confirmation hearings, but then when they do completely the opposite, there's no consequences. So, yeah, I don't know how we fix that, but it sure needs to be fixed. Thank you.
Alderman Green.
Thank you. Yeah, from one point of divisive history to another. Joseph, thank you for doing what you're doing. I have always been and always will be I guess the term buff was what we say for Civil War people, but, thank you for bringing light to those graves and those soldiers. And Mayor, you left out an important part of Joseph's family, that they are Second Ward residents. No. But you and your family just do great things for the city and are so involved, so thank you so much. And so happy to support that project and can't wait to see it completed. And then to Rock Fantasy, congratulations. 40 years is, I won't say it, oh, I will, it predates me. But that's okay because, I still love vinyl and my kids love when I put on vinyl, and I think that that's the only way to listen to music the right way. That's the way it was intended. And I know there's studies that will back me up on that. Other than that, just let's keep Middletown rocking. Like you said it, Kate, this is the place. There's nothing mid about Middletown. When you say middies, and there really isn't. We're above and beyond everything else and every other city or township out there. We just always come together and really put the unity in community. Thank you.
Alderman Witt.
Thank you very much. I just also wanted to comment on Sunday and what a great day that was. Maria, congratulations. And I love the idea that if this is going to become even bigger, that's fantastic. And what Alderman Johnson said about all the flags, it looked tremendous. And the person who was the MC kept, even in Spanish, I could listen that he was trying to call out to find out who was from whatever area, and you'd hear cheers and everything like that. So just a great day. And I ate too much. Empanadas and tres leches cake do not mix, so don't. Yeah, but that's where I should have stopped. When I went to the cake, that was a problem. So, but it was a great day, and I was sitting there watching too with it, and it's amazing, and it speaks to the leadership in our city that we had that space, because not all that long ago we didn't, and that was an incredible. You had the people who were dancing and singing and doing their things, and then you had the people who had the food and everyone having a good time, and you had the skate park going on full tilt on a beautiful day.
It was.
Almost in November. So, that's a pretty good thing. I congratulations to Rock Fantasy. I bought an Overkill CD there. I was told that's where I should find it, and I did, and you helped me. I don't expect you to remember that, but I knew that was where I had to go. So congratulations on impacting our city positively. And just because I heard Jerry mentioning the trunk or the Halloween thing, the school district trunk or treat is Wednesday the 29th from 4:30 to 6 at the board office, 223 Wisner Avenue. So from 4:30 to 6, a little tighter this year, but there were a lot of people there last couple of years, so we hope to see everybody. Thank you very much.
Alderman Massey.
Yeah, I'd just like, excuse me, I'd like to finish up. I hope people get to watch this meeting because this is what it's all about. We started with an Eagle Scout. We get into Rock Fantasy. Someone's been here over 40 years. Our department heads came up. Maria, everything you guys have done, the mayor's done, this everything you heard tonight has been so positive. This is a team effort. Please, starting Saturday is early voting. Please don't sit back and think, well, they've got it made. The leadership of Mayor DeStefano and Council President Rodriguez, along with the rest of this council, please get out there and vote. We want to continue to move forward and make things as positive as possible. We don't want to go backwards. So give thought to that. If you think that you're not going to be able to vote on November 4th, which is Tuesday, please go out and check our early voting schedule and go out and cast that ballot. The other thing is, just in case, I can't remember if this was mentioned, but our next council meeting has been changed to Monday the 3rd because of the election on Tuesday the 4th. But once again, just think of all the good things that were mentioned tonight. And then we got Jacob, who takes care of the city to make sure that we can have all these things. So let's continue to move forward. Let's not go backwards. Thank you very much.
And I'll wrap it up also. Congratulations to Rock Fantasy. I moved up here in 1989. It was my hangout spot back in the days. I'm not going to say what I did there, but we were always in there hanging out. And congratulations on the 40th year. 2019, I took a road trip to Gettysburg, did some history about people who served in the Civil War and found units from Middletown and everything. Now you put me on to probably going back to Gettysburg and seeing what we can find on everybody with the trip. So that's a great thing. We heard flags. What we also saw were little kids holding up American flags and welcoming everybody, and that's what matters. That's what makes Middletown. I wasn't born here. Wasn't born in this country. I came here illegally, and I know the feeling that everybody's feeling it. And to see little kids being happy, dancing, holding an American flag means everything to Middletown. And seeing that, and the mayor mentioned it and goes, we're seeing everything, and people joked around and everything, but to see everybody from the different countries, Latin America and everything, and then seeing the kids, they're holding up their flag, which is the American flag, and waving it and dancing. And that's what makes Middletown. It didn't matter who you were. Dr. Johnson was sitting there trying to register. I think we got 2 people to register to vote. We were out there trying to do whatever we could and introducing and telling people what our programs are and everything. And that's what, it means a lot to everybody. So again, that's what Middletown, that's why I chose to live here. That's why I chose to raise my family here. And I think, when Mr. Massey said it's a team effort, we get the job done. We're not perfect. We learn from our mistakes and we move forward. But that's what's key. And that's new business.
Thank you. Good evening. We have a resolution sponsored by Alderman Witt authorizing a budget transfer within the 2025 Recreation and Parks to budget.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Witt, seconded by Alderman Johnson. Any discussion? Roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Jean-Francois.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Massey.
Aye.
President Rodriguez.
Aye.
Carries. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Massey authorizing a budget transfer from the general fund to cover the cost of 5 speed bumps.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Massey, seconded by Alderman Ray. Any discussion? Roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Jean-Francois.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Massey.
Aye.
President Rodriguez.
Aye.
Carries. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Green authorizing a subdivision/lot line change for 2 Lau Avenue, section SBL 17-3-14.1.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Green, seconded by Alderman Witt. Any discussion? Roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Jean-Francois.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Massey.
Aye.
President Rodriguez.
Aye.
Carries. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Kleiner authorizing a cable television franchise agreement between Spectrum Northeast LLC and the City of Middletown.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Kleiner, seconded by Alderman Green. Any discussion? Roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Jean-Francois.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Massey.
Aye.
President Rodriguez. Carries. Resolution sponsored by Alderwoman Ray authorizing the acceptance and use of supplemental insurance check from the police vehicle motor vehicle accident.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Ray, seconded by Alderman Tobin. Any discussion? Roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Jean-Francois.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Massey.
Aye.
President Rodriguez.
Aye.
Carries. A resolution sponsored by Alderman Johnson accepting the 2025-2026 Passenger Safety Grant.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Johnson, seconded by Alderman Jean-Francois. Any discussion? Roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Jean-Francois.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Massey.
Aye.
President Rodriguez.
Aye.
Carries. A resolution sponsored by Alderman Tobin accepting the 2025-2026 Police Traffic Services Grant.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Tobin, seconded by Alderman Johnson. Any discussion? Roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Jean-Francois.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Massey.
Aye.
President Rodriguez.
Aye.
Carries. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Jean-Francois authorizing a budget transfer within the 2025 civil service budget.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Jean-Francois, seconded by Alderman Johnson. Any discussion? Roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Jean-Francois.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Massey.
Abstain.
Mr. Massey abstains. President Rodriguez.
Aye.
Carries. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Massey authorizing a budget transfer within the 2025 Fire Department budget.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Massey, seconded by Alderman Kleiner. Any discussion? Roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Jean-Francois. Johnson.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Massey.
Aye.
President Rodriguez.
Aye.
Carries. The resolution sponsored by Alderman Witt resolution sponsored by Alderman Witt seeking a notice of determination of non-significance for the Maple Hill Park Splash Pad project pursuant to SECRA.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Witt, seconded by Alderman Green. Any discussion? Roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Jean-Francois.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Massey.
Aye.
President Rodriguez.
Aye.
Carries. A resolution sponsored by Alderman Green authorizing a donation of flagstone for an Eagle Scout project at Hillside Cemetery.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Green, seconded by Alderman Kleiner. Any discussion? Roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Jean-Francois.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Massey.
Aye.
President Rodriguez.
Aye.
Carries. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Kleiner authorizing occupancy agreement with the Dumpstray Animal Rescue, Inc.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Kleiner, seconded by Alderman Johnson. Any discussion? Roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Jean-Francois.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Massey.
Aye.
President Rodriguez. Carries. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Johnson calling for a public hearing on proposed changes to the bulk table requirements in the downtown mixed-use district.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Johnson, seconded by Alderman Ray. Any discussion? Roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Jean-Francois.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Massey.
Aye.
President Rodriguez. Carries. A resolution sponsored by Alderman Kleiner authorizing an amendment to city code to establish a handicap parking space in front of 184 Linden Avenue.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Kleiner, seconded by Alderman Green. Any discussion? Roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Jean-Francois. Johnson.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Massey.
Aye.
President Rodriguez. Carries.
Audit.
Mr. President, I move the accounts be audited, the claims be adjusted, and the city treasurer be authorized to issue warrants for their payment.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Massey, seconded by Alderman Johnson. Roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Jean-Francois.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Massey.
Aye.
President Rodriguez. Carries. Mr. Jean-Francois? This is no part.
Resolution authorized amending the city code to remove 2-hour parking restriction on Highland Avenue extension. Be it resolved that the Code of City of Middletown, Chapter 460, Vehicles and Traffic be hereby as amended as follow. Street Highland Avenue extension between West Main Street and Hartford Street. Early side, remove existing 2 hours parking restriction, no parking up to 20 feet from each intersection. Wesley side, design it as no parking for the entire length of between intersection with no parking here to corner. Restriction to remain in place within 20 feet of each intersection.
We have a motion by Alderman John Francois. It does say on Highland Avenue Extension. It's not Highland Avenue Extension. Highland Avenue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Motion to amend to Island
I
Avenue.
wondered that myself, actually.
Second?
Motion by, well, actually, so I have a motion by Alderman John Francois. Do I have a second? Second by Alderman Green. Do I have a motion to amend?
Motion to amend to Highland Avenue.
Ray. Second by Alderman Massey.
As amended?
All those in favor of the amendment?
All in favor?
Aye.
Now, any discussion on the resolution? Roll.
Tobin. Aye. John Francois.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Massey.
Aye.
President Rodriguez.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Move for adjournment?
Don't move.